Yo, yo, yo. What up, peoples? What it do? Happy flipping Thursday. With that Java. Oh, man. We're going to be getting back into Fallout New Vegas today. Try to finish that game up. Dude, it's like day 28 of that, but we haven't played since like the end of September. So basically like 3 months we haven't played that game. October was Scaretober, and then November and December were basically mainly Baldur's Gate 3 and a couple of other things mixed in there. But we're going to get back in there. We're going to try to get our wits about us and remember how to play Fallout New Vegas and finish that game up. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully well. It probably won't take us too long to get back in the gist of it. You know what I mean? Get back in the groove of things and try to finish up Fallout New Vegas and then get ready for what's coming next, you know, for our 2024 schedule. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Soup. Yeah, on pre-order, just one page and a button that says yeah. I mean, that's the gist for most games anymore. I mean, any game that is probably close to releasing, any game that's gone gold at this point, you know, most of the time any game that's gone gold, which means that it's it would take something significant and catastrophic for it to delay, and it's already being boxed up and printed, and it's definitely releasing on its release date. Yeah, that's the jam, you know, the whole pre-order thing. Yep. Added a worse DRM. I don't know that we can pull it up and see. Oh, interesting. Yeah, hey, no, I wasn't really aware of this, dude. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's cool. Let's take a look at this. That's interesting, man. No, thank you. I hadn't hit that in the news. Nope. When was this yeah, January 10th. Okay, so yeah, it came up yesterday. Yeah, so obviously we probably would have hit it in the news today, more than likely. But thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've got our date, so we'll just go ahead and hop in here and take a look at getting started with video gaming news for today, January 11th. But for those of you that don't know, I'll show you. Whenever we have our day off on Wednesday and I get back on Thursday, I always set our dates for the 9th through the 11th, right? So that's where we do our searches. So I do our search to try and catch anything that we might have missed as well. It doesn't mean we will catch everything, but I do my best to make sure that we're catching everything we could have missed from our day off, okay? But I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we have to catch up on from yesterday. Other sites don't report about this DR. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. It just, you know, there could be different reasons. There might be some sites that are in cahoots, if you will, with Capcom, and they don't want to say anything bad about Capcom. It could be other sites didn't know about it yet. You know, they haven't caught wind of it yet. There could be different issues, you know. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see, though. We'll see. We'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. Thanks, man. Cool. All right. Let's see what else we got, though. Let's dig in here and find all of our articles for the day, and then we'll get going with diving into these. Cool. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's start this off the right way. Hope everybody's doing very well. I hope you had a great day yesterday. And since I wasn't around, the stream was down for our normal day off, and I'm excited to get going today. So let's go ahead and do this. Cool. that's feels clickbaity. I'm not gonna dive into that. Nacon executive says industry's problem is too many games. Yeah, I you know, I don't disagree. I don't disagree that there's too many games. The market's very, very saturated. I've talked about that a lot. There's definitely an issue of quality over quantity in the industry. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. There are too many companies focused on pushing out too many games. How fast they can push out games. Let me restate that. There are too many companies worried about how fast they can push out games rather than the amount of companies that are out there that are actually worried about the quality of the games they push out, right? So that's the big issue. And that's why there are so many games out there and why we are always dealing with the issues that we have to deal with of, you know, games not fulfilling the promises of content or games coming out that aren't finished and their performance is trash, things like that, right? Because there are too many crap companies and not enough good companies, developers and publishers, right? We jamming, we jamming. Davey, what up, buddy? How's it going? Dude, how, you feeling any better, dude? Best SSDs of gaming? For gaming of 2024, this is always going to be you got to be careful with this. You got to be careful with this. This is something that could be very I don't dive into this kind of stuff. I don't normally dive into this kind of stuff because here's the deal. There's going to be different solid state drives that work on different platforms, right? People just need to be able to do your own research and figure out what the best kind of solid state drive is for your particular platform, whether it be PC or consoles or what have you, as well as it's really hard to differentiate sometimes between legitimate articles on this front and articles that are trying to be promoting specific manufacturers' products, right? It's hard to, I mean, I'll link it for you if you want to take a look at it, but I'm not going to dive into this. This isn't necessarily what I'm looking to dive into, okay? So I'll copy that link and throw it in here. You can take a look at that, but that's not the kind of stuff I really want to dive into. It's just too hard to determine, you know, without diving into every single one we come across, whether or not they're being unbiased. You know what I mean? Or if it's promotional. Yeah, slowly getting back to 100%. Good, I'm glad, dude. EA is on the #1 crap company. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, I'll say this. Like, you guys know how I feel. Like, I think Apex is a fun game. And I think that, you know, when it comes to a game like Apex, I haven't seen how much it was going to cost. How much is it supposed to cost? Let me see this. Huge Modern Warfare 3 file size due to increased content. Yeah. How old was this? Yeah, we hit on this stuff back then. I'm not gonna dive into this. This isn't really current, so I'm not gonna dive into that. Yeah, we touch on this thing we've touched on this a lot over the course of the past couple of years about file size and stuff. I'll hit on both of these real quick. Let's talk about file size. So games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's inevitable, right? That to an extent, games get bigger. The amount of content being put into games, the assets that are being built for games are, more heavy file size wise and stuff. But there is something to be said for efficient coding, right? A very efficient coding really cuts down on file size, things like that. Efficient development for a video game can significantly reduce or inflate the file size of a game. And it's a lot of it depends on the types of files, the file types that are used for the audio, the video. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to be considered for how big a game is. And we have seen especially over the past couple of years, that games are getting bigger and bigger. And I don't know, it does make you wonder to what extent these companies have any focus on, being efficient with their game development, right? Because it's and I've talked about this before, especially on the side of consoles, right? Consoles traditionally have come out with not huge storage sizes, and they're almost like shooting themselves in the foot, if you will, because you'll see a lot of these first party games come out also, and they're huge. This file size is substantial, and then people are going, well, how am I supposed to even put this on my default storage for the console whenever they're not giving me enough file size? It's a debacle, dude. It sucks. They need to do better. I think for a lot of developers, they need to be more efficient with the way that they're developing games for file size. And I think that many hardware manufacturers need to be giving greater storage capacities by default in what they're selling, So it's a twofold kind of issue, Whoa, Davey, for real? Yo, let's pull it up, dude. Yo, let's pull it up. I had no idea it was that much, dude. Woo! God dang, dude. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, let's go with, it said Reset Era had one, right? Reset Era is good. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's just going to be a forum here. Hold on. Dixerto's got one. That's good. Let's look at this. Oh my God, dude. For reals? Yeah. Yo, thanks, dude. Yeah, I had no idea. I knew they were doing a mashup, but I didn't know it was so absurdly priced, dude. Look, and I think before I even get into this, you guys know how I feel. Apex Legends, I think, is a very well-developed game. It's a free-to-play game. So you've got to expect to some capacity that, they're going to be pricing things like skins in a way that allows them to, they're going to monetize things in a way that allows them to, make the game profitable. It's a free-to-play game, right? It's a popular game. It's free to play. It allows people to get in and play the game without having to pay anything, which is that's a very good thing. But you've got to be prepared for the other side of that, which is there's always going to be an amount of monetization. The best thing you can hope for, really, is no pay to win. And Apex has had its issues in the past of pay-to-win stuff being incorporated. But for the most part, they've stayed away from it. But it is always a rough look whenever this kind of thing happens. So we'll dive in here. Thanks, Davey. I appreciate it, man. And I'm glad you're starting to feel better, dude. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. MSI Claw officially announced. Let's see if we have more stuff in here. This is the same exact thing we saw the other day. There's no new info in here. No. Same thing we saw the other day. There's no new info in that yet. We talked about the ROG Nook as well the other day. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we talk about that whole subjective kind of, you know, everything's relative. Everything's relative to your life situation. And a lot of the gaming stuff comes down to money, right? Your how relative everything is to your financial situation. Many of us, I think, are in the same boat, but there's there's a few that hang out on a yacht together. You know what I mean? Most of us are in a floating around packed in a sardine can together. The rest of most, there's a lot of other, there's an amount, a small percentage of the other ones that are floating around on a yacht together, and money's not an obstacle, you know. And yeah, it's weird to see people just be okay and just buy all that stuff, you know. It's weird to see that. I've got an article going to go up later today about Star Citizen, you know. Yeah, 50 gifted subs for Genshin Stream. Well, yo, I'll tell you what. We might actually do a little bit of some Zenless, and we might actually do a little bit of Blue Protocol. Okay, so just hold on to your wallet for now. But there's a chance we might get into either one of those. You know what I mean? Just to try them out when they release. There might be a chance for us to try out either one of those games when they release. So probably not Genshin, probably not Honkai, you know, but some Zenless Zone Zero and some Blue Protocol, you know, those are games that we might try out on release just to see how they are and stuff. So similar there. But yeah, Blue Protocol does look, but I think they both look good. Yeah. This whole issue of and I'll dive into this a little bit more when we bring up this article specifically, but it is weird to me too, Davey. It's really weird to me too, you know. I'm not an individual of wealth, you know. I never have been. I've always been somebody, I take care of my things. I'm pretty frugal, you know. I don't spend on unnecessary things. But I'm, you know, when it comes to gaming, I'm also one of those. I feel like I'm a realist. I try to be a realist. A lot of people probably look at me more like a cynic, you know, but I feel more like I'm a realist when it comes to video games and the industry and everything. I'm all about like compensating a company for how much enjoyment you're getting out of a game. If it's a game as a service, a free-to-play game, something like that. If you've been getting a large amount of playtime out of the game and you haven't had to pay for anything, like if you're getting, if you find yourself playing a game and you've gotten like 100 hours out of it or something and you haven't had to pay a cent, it's like, yo, it's probably time that I consider giving them a little bit of money, you know? Probably overtime, actually, beyond time. I would say if you hit like 50, 60 hours, you probably need to start considering compensating them a little bit. That's a substantial amount of entertainment to not, pay in anything. To not say, yo, devs, thank you. And it doesn't have to be substantial. I think that everybody's situation's different, right? And so what you can pay in and say thank you if they're giving you quality entertainment, then I think that's appropriate. Yeah, but there's also another side to it that's very, very gross, like this, you know, in which I think we'll read into and we'll talk about it, and I'll flesh out these sentiments again. There's an acceptable side of this, in my opinion, and a very unacceptable and very gross side of it, which is normally, you know, it's unfortunately not something that is rare for us to see on the side of the developers and publishers, right? Only an MMO, not available here. It's Blue Protocol is only going to be in the US. Is that for reals? If it does well, it'll probably release in other parts of the world, but I didn't know that. Amazon is publishing Blue Protocol in North and South America, Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Huh. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was going to say too, Soup. Yeah. You could probably just VPN. You probably just VPN to one of those servers closer to you, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be too bad. So that's always an option there, more than likely, you know. Yeah. So, and it's on your PS5, buddy. It's on your PS5. So, you know. Oh, dude. I've never used either one of those, actually. I've never used either one of those. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to give you a definitive opinion on either one. Yeah. Sorry. I've used some others. But I mean, here's my thing. If anybody is in the market for, I have used Nord before. I've used Ghost. I think this is the best thing you can do. Whether you're talking about like VPNs or you're talking about like security suites for your devices, things like that. I think there's things people need to be able to do their own research. I think that the best thing you can do, and this is what, anytime I'm in the market for trying out and using something different, I do this for myself. One second. So, Lost Ark. Talking about Lost Ark. Well, the first thing Amazon did was they published their own in-house game they developed, which was New World. And New World was okay to begin with, but then they really had some issues with the economy. There was some broken stuff with the economy, and any kind of live service game like an MMO like that, it just destroyed that game, you know. But Lost Ark was a game that they published that came out of Korea. Lost Ark had been released in Korea for roughly 3 years. I actually played it for a few months on release. It was really good. I had been aware of Lost Ark for probably a year before it even got published here in the West. So here's the thing. I think if you're going to be talking about VPNs, or if you're going to be talking about something like you know, security suites or anything like that, the best thing you can do is do your own research and education. You know, VPNs have different, I guess, footholds in different parts of the world. So depending on where you live, VPNs can be better depending on where you live as a service. And I think that it depends on if you're looking to pay for something or if, as opposed to a free piece of software as well, because you can research what's the best free VPN, what's the best free security suite for devices, or what's the best, you know, just all the way around. What's the best VPN service as a whole? What's the best security suite as a whole? And it, you know, you can find a lot of different, the thing that I would normally do is compare and contrast different sites. Find a few different sites that have given you like the top 10 that they've reviewed, and find some that end up in the top 10 across the board, and even the top 5 of a number of different review sites. You know, normally if you find some that are consistently in the top 5, you know, from a lot of different review sites, it's a pretty good indicator that that's a pretty solid piece of software to be using, you know what I mean, or service to be using. And that's what I would recommend people do. You know, that's what I would recommend people do is, you know, just do your own research, find out what is going to serve your purpose the best, whether it be free or a paid service. And you got to be willing to educate yourself. You really do. But I've used a number of different services myself that fit my particular situation. But it was always an amount of research that went into it for myself, and it's not necessarily going to fit anybody else's particular situation the same way. So that's my advice. That's my advice. Take it or leave it. A lot of that kind of stuff, I think, really truly comes down to being able to you know, to have the want to self-educate yourself, do a little bit of research, and take the time to look into that kind of thing. But it does look like Blue Protocol is initially rolling out in these areas. I wonder if it's going to be global. It does seem like they're trying to get it to go global. Yeah, it's just going to take a little bit longer. That's normally the way these big games like this go. Random time, by the way. Get your random in there. Either fire speed or Komodo hype, guys. What were you saying? Yeah, that's not gaming news, that whole Walmart thing, dude. I'm not going to dive into that. So, I think that they're trying to... I think it's pretty safe to say that probably by the end of 2024, the global will probably be released. Yeah, nice, Davey, nice. But that's not a definite. It's for sure, as we've seen, releasing in those definitive areas first, and then it will. They're trying to get it rolled out globally a little bit later. So you might have to VPN to play it to begin with if you're not in one of those first regions it's rolling out in. Yeah, we've talked about this as well. We've talked about this also. There's like a 3D monitor coming out from Samsung that basically gives you the same kind of experience that a VR headset would. It just isn't going to be quite as immersive because it won't be, you know, all you see. But it's supposed to give you that same kind of immersion to an extent. Kind of wild. We don't know how much it's going to cost yet. It'll be expensive. There will soon be a Steam operating system portable gaming PC other than the Steam Deck. What? Okay. What is this? Oh, jeez, dude. I had a feeling something like this would happen. Let's like take a look at it. Yeah. What is this? Oh, D4 and Overwatch 2 are the next Activision Blizzard games coming to GeForce Now. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. We talked about this already as well. Let's go one more page. New 343 Halo project in development since 2022, huh? Interesting. Especially since we had read before that 343 was being pulled off Halo at one point. Like early last year, we had read that. Activision Blizzard games won't be at Xbox Developer Direct. The Developer Direct, when does that happen? On the 18th, I think. So in like a week, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yep. So we'll be watching that. We'll look at this. It'll give us more information about the Developer Direct and when it's going to take place, and that way we know exactly. Bro, what is happening? That was weird. Um, we'll schedule this to be watched next week, so we'll leave this up. All right, let's look at our other search. Ooh-wee. Oh man. Get all that sports stuff out of there. Um, Actors Union announces deal for AI voice acting licensing in video games. Whoa. Okay. Let's go Video Games Chronicle here, actually. Where was that? Video game actors speak out after union announces this. Okay, let's see. Oh, dude, I caught wind of this yesterday. Twitch will reportedly lay off around 500 employees this week. That's 35% of their workforce. Now, not necessarily video gaming news, but that is the platform we're on right now. So that's concerning, you know. Where did my music go? What the crappers, dude? Just donked out on me. Let's get this music popping again. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we talked about this on Tuesday. If you didn't know, Marvel Snap was originally published by Newverse. Newverse is being basically shut down by ByteDance because ByteDance is they're the ones that own Newverse as a publishing brand. Newverse or ByteDance is getting out of the video game piece of entertainment. They're just kind of backing out of all of it. So Marvel Snap, the devs secured a $100 million investment to basically secure what they needed to continue doing what they needed to do moving forward, is basically what it came down to. The game's supposed to be very good. There's also talk, and I wasn't sure how this would go down, but there's talk from ByteDance to sell off a lot of their gaming stuff to maybe somebody like Tencent or NetEase, something like that. And I wasn't sure if they did that, if they would also get the publishing rights to something like Marvel Snap. I think each game would probably come down to what the contract says. And from what we could see, Marvel Snap wasn't included in anything that it was looking like ByteDance was going to be selling off, or any company was going to be able to gain by buying ByteDance's gaming portfolio, I guess, publishing wise. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see exactly what goes down. But there was some, I think, unease here for the developers behind Marvel Snap, but now they're looking to be okay after this $100 million investment they've secured, you know. Target video game deals what? It's just individual deals. I'll let you look at it if you want. A lot of times Target will do like a buy one, get one free, or a buy two, get one free deal. Right now it's just looking like some price reductions there. Alan Wake's coming to Dead by Daylight later this month. If you didn't know, now you know. Cool. Oh, God, I wish that Twitch would have never sold out to Amazon, dude. It just keeps looking worse and worse and worse. Yo, if you've got kids, you've got to monitor what they're doing, dude. This is, I mean, you know, it's a two-way street here. The you know, there are a lot of platforms out there that promote themselves as first and foremost being something for youth, you know, children, kids. That's what they're primarily focused at being a platform for. A place for kids to engage and have fun and stuff. Anytime that is there's a community built around that, you're gonna have predators, and it is first and foremost the software developer's job to do the absolutely utmost they can to prevent that kind of thing from happening. But it's inevitable that they can't prevent everything. Roblox has had a lot of issues, though. They've not traditionally been really good at preventing bad stuff from happening on their platform, from kids having access to bad stuff to predators being able to prey on youth. And I think that a lot of parents have this, I guess, misinterpretation of just platforms like this being safe and okay for kids. They're not. You know, it's, you know, they're promoted as a place for kids to engage in content, but they're not necessarily safe, which is why guardians, parents, whoever need to also have oversight as to what kids are being engaged in. It's also their responsibility. It's also their jobs to make sure that kids are not being groomed and engaging in some kind of malicious, you know, being manipulated by bad people, being groomed by bad people, taking advantage of things like that, because these types of platforms are always going to have gross, disgusting people being a part of it that are trying to prey on young individuals. And so I've talked about this kind of thing a lot. It's something that we always need to be focusing on doing better as a whole, but it is a responsibility of both the software developer and the people that are supposed to be taking care of these children. You know, whether it be parents, grandparents, the guardians, whoever it is. It's not always an easy thing, but there needs to be some kind of focus on it, because the end result can be catastrophic, as you can see. And I mean, the reason, like, if you are not aware, people that have to deal with this kind of stuff at any age, it's not something you get over. Time usually helps, but it's not something you get over, and especially as a child. A child who has to deal with this kind of thing, this is something that literally messes with their head for the rest of their life. It takes a lot of time and a lot of help to get people to a stable place that usually, most of the time anyways, have to have had to deal with this kind of experience. You know, it sucks. We need to do better. This is dope. We saw this the other day. Diablo 4 Season 3 release date has been confirmed. Put that there. Woo! Wee, dude. What is that in Fahrenheit, bro? I'm a pleb. I'm a Celsius pleb, dog. Oh, look who it is. Yo, how's everything going, dude? Let me look this up. Jesus, yo, that's where you're starting to get like almost level when Celsius and Fahrenheit start getting right on the same temperature scale. That's negative 47 Fahrenheit. It feels like negative 47 Fahrenheit. God dang, son, that is cold, boy. Jesus, that's cold, dude. All packed, getting to move my stuff to Landlord's nice, dude. I like. Thanks for sharing the pictures. Yeah, thanks for sharing the pictures yesterday, dude. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks good, dude. I wish I was there, buddy. I wish I was there with you. Yeah, I wish I was there to help and enjoy and stuff. Yo, what's up, Dushku? How's it going? Oh, yo, did we? Oh, we did, didn't we? Check it out, dog. That means I owe you a sub. You got that Komodo hype, dog. Let's go. I owe Ferret a sub. I still owe you a sub, and I owe, well, now I owe you a sub, and I owe, True a sub still. Nice, dude. You'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know. What's up, Douchegoo? How you doing, friendo? Great to have you. Happy Thursday. Yo, Davey, I'm sorry, dude. I'm glad you're starting to feel better, but, dude, you stay warm, man. Yeah, that's brutal, dog. That's brutally cold. That's colder than anything I've ever felt. Yeah, I've felt some cold stuff. I've felt like, you know, negative 20s. Felt like negative, you know, 35. Close to that. But I don't think I've felt anything quite that cold. That's pretty brutal, dude. Yeah. Oh, I'm good. I'm good, Douchecube. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Another beautiful day to enjoy the world of video games, you know what I'm saying? And hang out with cool peoples, man. Yeah. Yo, thank you. Yeah. I love my community too. Yeah. Or our community, you know what I mean? Our community. Yeah. It's a great place, man. I'm fortunate to have all these amazing people to hang out with every single day. Cool spot. Yo, Ferret, don't forget to let me know when your sub runs out, dude. Great job on the rando mode. Thanks for letting me know, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. Great job, dude. Oh, dude, North Dakota's a cold spot for sure. Oh, yeah, cool, Douchecoo. Yeah, you talking about like in the Discord and stuff? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in there, man. Yeah. Bro, I lived outside of Milwaukee for a number of years. So, you know, that's like right north of Chicago and right outside the Great Lakes and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Well, yeah, I changed it not too long ago. If you read the randomote stuff, it says I changed it a few weeks ago. If you matched the random Twitch emote shown at the end of this message or the same emote OutsiderAntics gets on his attempt, then you get a free sub. Yeah. I changed it, man. That way people have a better chance now. Yep. Which I think is cool. Yeah, it gives people a better chance to win. You know, it's still pretty, you know, it's still pretty low percentage, I think, but it's a little bit better. Yeah. Change that one up. But living up there, you know, there was a ton of snow and a ton of wind, dude, up there where I was. But I've heard North Dakota's a brutal one, dude. I've heard that's pretty brutal territory, man. But that's where I lived, suburb of Milwaukee, man, and it was we had some winters that were just, they were brutal, dog. Like, you know, just nonstop snow, dude. With super windy, felt like you know, the temperatures would get down to like -20, and then with the wind chill, it was like -35, stuff like that. It was really brutal, dude. It was really brutal. Yeah. Not anything I need. I don't mind cold weather, dude, but that's that stuff. Yeah, the lakes. That's what I was saying. Yeah, the Great Lakes stuff, dude. That's where, you know, a lot of the wind, you know, kind of shoots off of that and brings a lot of the snow and stuff too. So it was brutal. Yeah, yeah. I don't need that cold. I like having all 4 seasons. You know, I like having all 4 seasons. But and I don't mind the cold that much. Like dude, we've got a ton of snow right now, actually, brother. We've got a ton of snow right now, and it's like, I don't know, it's like 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 14, so it's chilly. It's chilly, you know, but it's manageable. It's manageable. It's nothing like what Davey's dealing with right now, or like what I know what you've dealt with before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There you go, douche-coo. That's right. Yeah, get that random mode in there. Summer and winter. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't like that, dude. I don't like that. That's like whenever I lived all the way, you know, down towards the bottom of Texas, dude. It was just summer most of the year, and then there was like a kind of rainy season they called winter. You know what I mean? It would get colder. It would get down into like the 40s and 50s. But that's all we had, really. It was just stupid hot, brutally hot, humid 9 to 10 months out of the year. And then the rest of the time, it was just like kind of a little bit chilly with, you know, rain. A little bit of rain, you know? And it was like, I hated it, dude. I hated only like that kind of weather, man. Give me the seasons. Give me all of it, you know? I really like where I live right now. I really enjoy it. Yeah. All right, let's get back in here. Let's see what we got. Wait, what? Retailer lists V2 PS5 DualSense with improved battery life? Interesting. New controller reportedly lasts up to 12 hours? Huh. Yeah, we're hearing not good stuff out of Suicide Squad, and I mean, I don't want to brag, but I kind of called it. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling everybody to be very hesitant on this game for a long time now, and a lot of what we're seeing with early reviews is that a lot of places are like, it's not fantastic. The game doesn't actually release until early February, like February 2nd or 8th or something. I think it's the 2nd. But there are a lot of review sites that have gotten their hands on the game already, and they're like, it's okay. It's not fantastic, you know? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a week in San Antonio. December to January, you got to 32. Yeah. When I landed back home, it was 0. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, you know, and that's like... So that's down around where I was, you know, for a number of years. And they like, if you got down to freezing, that was like, it felt like it kind of, that's about as low as it would normally get, you know. But normally it wouldn't stick down around that. It was normally in like the 40s or 50s, it felt like, you know. Which, when you're used to it just being blazing hot all the time, most of the year, you know. Oh, TDY and stuff, yeah. Then it's just, you know, 40s and 50s feels cold. You know what I mean? you get acclimated to that weather. Ratchet is a short game, but how did I manage to take half a year to finish it, reaching 25 to 30 hours? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. You were probably just enjoying it, and you know, I mean, I'm a meticulous game player. I take my time with games, so I don't think you should worry about that. I think the only people that should really worry about how long it takes to play a game are speedrunners. You know, otherwise, don't really worry about it. Just, I'll usually look at how much time I've spent in a game after I play it, just to know how long it took me to beat it. But I don't really care. For me, it's more about like just making sure I get the amount of enjoyment out of a game that I'm supposed to get. You know, playing the game the way I want to play it, not letting somebody else's game time. Sorry. Good night. Oh man. Oh man. That actually felt great. But I don't want to sneeze again. 3's the limit, dude. Sorry. Normally I try to mute myself when that happens. But I couldn't get to it in time, man. It crept up on me real quick. I don't want to let somebody else's game time, like how fast somebody else has beat a game, or you know how long it's taken somebody else to beat a game, dictate how long I feel like I should be playing a game. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's gonna be like, well, you look at how long to beat while you make your schedule every year, and yeah, but it's kind of a necessity because we need to know how long it's gonna take to beat a game to get it in the schedule and everything. But I normally overshoot quite a bit, you know. While I play it, other games are being released. That's the debacle, dude. You know, that's the debacle for sure. It's always a game of I think for anybody that's a gaming aficionado, anybody that's you know, like us, most of us around here that just enjoy playing games on the constant, that's something you've got to figure out for yourself. What are the games that you're most interested in playing? What are the games that you really feel like you can't go without playing? And what are the ones that, you know, you're gonna just be okay with missing? You know, it's inevitable. There are too many games. My backlog over the years continues to get longer and longer and longer and longer and there's not enough time. And for the past almost 3 years now, have been playing games every single day almost, you know. Kind of made the Breath of the Wild play longer. Wait, why? Why is that? You definitely didn't make my Tears of the Kingdom play longer, that's for sure. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you know, that was one of those games where it's such a massive game. Actually, it depends on the way you look at it. Depends on the way you look at it. For what I was trying to get done and everything, there were probably a lot of occasions where, had I not had a little bit of guidance, it could have quite possibly gone even longer. You know, a lot of those types of games, I'll do my best to find everything on my own first. But if I need a little bit of guidance, then it just depends. If it was stuff that I didn't know was there and you guys were like, oh, this might be something you wouldn't want to miss, then yeah, that's going to add game time. But at the same time, if it's something that I've, you know, been searching for a little bit and I'm leaning on you guys to be like, okay, let's not waste any more time, then that, you know, and you guys help guide me in the right direction, that's going to eliminate some of the time it would have taken me also, right? So who knows? Who knows? Excuse me. Man, that sneeze really jacked my throat up. Just add it to the wish list. That'll fix it. Does it, though? Does it fix it? Yeah, that was one of the best things about Breath of the Wild, though. I think I actually talked about that during my finale. Finishing the game Breath of the Wild. The shrines were amazing because it gave you such flexibility in figuring out ways to get things done. Like there was that one shrine where it was like a marble maze, the marble maze, and I figured out real quick that you could just turn the maze all the way upside down and it would shoot the marble on the underside that didn't have any of the walls. So you could just like not have to deal with it and just pop it over. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways in which you can take care of the shrines, and I think that's the cool thing about it, is it really lets people's minds work in their unique fashion, you know? Yeah, I've actually got a highlight of whenever I did it, dude, during that playthrough. So, you know, I think each individual person gets things done in their own kind of unique way quite often, and I think that was one of the greatest things about Breath of the Wild, was it allowed for letting people's brains work in their unique ways to accomplish what needed to be done for the shrines. There was, I think, obviously a main way to get things done, but you didn't have to do things that way, right? More options in Tears of the Kingdom. That's good. That's good. I kind of figured there would be. Yeah. All right, let's keep looking in here. Let's keep going here. Dude, that really jacked my throat up. I'm going to eat a flipping cinnamon candy here and see if I can get my throat back to normal. Oh, man. So does Land Wars kick off today or what, dude? It actually kicks off today, right? The 11th? I think that's how that was supposed to go. Yeah, at noon. Nice, dude. GTA one more year. That's what you think, buddy. Till it gets delayed until 2027, you know what I'm saying? Seems like, don't put that juju on me. Oh, nice, Ferret. Yeah. Soup. Don't jinx it, bro. Yeah. I don't know. That's funny, dog. So I've got all the video gaming news segments from last week up on YouTube already, but I don't have the individual, like, pertinent articles up yet. Hopefully those will be up by tonight, okay? If anybody missed any of the entire news segments, though, from last week, and you wanted to catch any of that, it's up on YouTube. GTA maybe another 10 years. Yeah. They'll just have to call it GTA 7 by that point, you know. Lots of games for 2024, yeah. Silent Hill 2, MGS, Dragon's Dogma, FF7 Rebirth, yeah. I mean, I think that, like I said before, perfect world, dude, we would just continue the trend of what happened last year with game releases, you know. We would get back into, I would love to look at last year and go, man, hopefully, you know, this is what I said last year. Towards the end of the year, it was like, man, hopefully this is a predictor of us getting better quality games on the constant, you know? But I really feel like it was an anomaly, right? Yeah, I heard about that. We talked about that, Soup. Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. Yep. So, I mean, we hadn't had a year for game releases like that in probably the last 20 years. And 2023 is going to go down in, you know, the annals of gaming history, if you will, as just an absolute phenomena, if you will. You know, it was crazy, man, how good the releases were last year. There were so many games that didn't even make it into like consideration for awards that any other year they absolutely would have been nominated. You know, it was crazy. So I would love to look at what happened last year and have it be a trend for us getting better releases on the constant moving forward. But I'm also not going to, I guess, let that be something that gets me hyped up and then let down. You know, I don't feel like that's going to be the case. So I know we've got games that people are hyped about for this year. But as we've seen in the past, there's always the potential for games that are coming to the table for us to be hyped about, and I'm hyped about one of those too. Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm hyped, dude. Dragon's Dogma 1, I spent 130 hours in. I loved that game. Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm super hyped about. But there's always the potential for those games to be to let us down, right? Wolverine for PS5, dude, that's not going to hit until, like, I think next year, right? So we'll just have to see how the year goes. I don't think we'll have the same kind of year this year that we had last year. I just think it was too crazy. Last year was just too crazy, dude. It was just too nuts. I would love to see us have year on end the same kind of releases that we had last year, but I just don't think it's realistic, you know. Oh, here we go. Ubi and MiHoYo are among publishers signing up for NVIDIA's AI-generated video character tool. But we will never not remember Ty Guy, dude. Bro, I was losing it, dog. I couldn't help it. I was losing my mind. I was dying. I couldn't even laugh. Perfect, bro. That's perfect, dude. Dude, my throat was all jacked up too. I was trying to watch that, and I was just dying, dude. I had just been sick. So I was trying to recover, and my throat was all jacked up, and I was sitting there trying to laugh at that, and I couldn't quit coughing and stuff too. It was so stupid, dude. It was so stupid. But yo, I love that he owned that, dude, and that's the only way you can do that right. He owned the crap out of that, and I appreciate, you know, the just recognizing and owning that it goes a long ways with me, you know. I'll still laugh about it. I'll still make fun of it a little bit, but you got to give him props for doing what he did. And it was the Golden Joystick Awards, dude, which for me is really the award show of the year, you know. I would rather see him do it in January or something, but it holds a lot more weight for sure. Sony is devising its own spatial headset tailor-made for video game creation. Is that what this is? Yeah, to take on Apple Vision Pro. Interesting. Yeah. I think as far as like looking, you know what I mean, professional. Yeah, I agree. Which was why it was so funny to me that it was a Snap-on, right? I mean, he was the actual face of the award show, right? I mean, he was the one that was doing all the work there, announcing most of the stuff, and he was the face. He looked really good, dude. He did, which for me, that's why it was so comical to me. That's why it was so funny to me that it was just a Snap-on tie, you know. And it's like, yeah, the MC, yeah. And that's why it was killing me, dude. That's why it was killing me. But there was like, actually, dude, the guy that voices Asterion, I liked his drip, dude. He wasn't like, you know, he wasn't like dripped out, but he had like kind of like a Final Fantasy kind of like vibe going on. You know what I mean? Like he looked like almost like he was wearing some Final Fantasy attire or something, you know, like not like over the top. It was like Final Fantasy kind of casual, you know. I thought it looked kind of cool, man. I thought it looked kind of good. But the other dude that looked like he got dressed by, you know, a suit that he bought off of Amazon that didn't fit him, that was weird. The other voice actor, I think he was actually a Final Fantasy 14 voice actor, or 16 voice actor, I mean. Final Fantasy 16 voice actor, I think, right? He wore that red suit, but it was just not tailored at all. And he just wore like a white t-shirt underneath it or whatever. And, it did not fit him. It looked super weird. It made him look like a giant baby or something. It was really, really odd. It reminded me of like buying a suit off of a website. You know, buying some kind of suit off a website. But anytime you buy a suit off a website, usually, you know, if it's just like a basic suit, you know, it would be something that's just sized generally. Like, you know, it's just a general size. And then you're supposed to take those suits and get them tailored to you, right? And it's like you just didn't get it tailored. You just like ordered it online. He wrapped that bad boy up on himself and was like, let's go. Think of the Hunger Games? Oh. Why is that? Have you seen the new Hunger Games, by the way? Let's go one more page here. Yeah, I heard about this. Game designer Janelle Jacques has passed away at age 67. Did a lot of work in the games industry, D&D stuff, a lot of other stuff like that. And, you know, I'll just go ahead and say heart and thoughts go out to anybody and everybody that friends and family affected by the passing, you know. It's unfortunate. And I hope that, you know, they're healing and grieving appropriately, and you know, it never feels good to lose people you love, and just thanks to everything that Janelle did for us in the gaming industry, you know, and for D&D and all that stuff, man, you know. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that, dude. Didn't really care for Hunger Games. I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. Yuck, dude. Bitcoin blockchain bullcrap. Triple B. Bitcoin blockchain bullcrap, dude. Mm-hmm. OA coin? Yo, you guys get OA coins. You get antics tokens, dude. So you're already winning, dude. Invest today. That's right. Yo, you ought to see. Did you guys see these? I put some YouTube videos, dude. I put some YouTube videos in the tavern channel last night. You guys should take a look. They're pretty wild. One of them is they're both in regards to gaming, but they're pretty wild little animation shorts, dude. They're pretty crazy, dude. We talked about that. Even Musk got out of it. Look, yeah, I don't know, man. I've been telling people forever. Again, I don't think that NFTs are something that couldn't in the future be something beneficial to us as gamers if they're incorporated the right way. But we don't have the right kind of gaming infrastructure for it to be utilized correctly. You know, it's just not something that can be utilized the right way. It's not beneficial enough for us right now. And therefore, the ones that really benefit from it are the developers and the publishers. And for us, it's just really a scam as the consumers, you know. And I've seen it for a long time. I saw it from the initiation of how popular it got, and I was just, it sucked to see so many people get sucked into it, which is why I tried to educate people on it from the get-go. It was like, just please stay away from it. It's not worth diving into. You're just setting yourself up for failure more than likely. How many people, how many people have you seen actually buy into NFTs that lost so much money, And yet, they're still trying to bait people into like this premise of NFTs being something of worth. I don't know how people could still be buying into it in any capacity right now with the way it's being implemented currently. It's just gross, dude. Dude. Nope, not Gaming Bible can get wrecked. Let's look at this real quick. Let's start off with this. Gaming events you need to look out for in 2024. We already know that the Xbox event's coming up on the 18th, right? They have dates for any of these? It doesn't look like it. Nah. Not worth keeping up. So Sony trying to push NFTs? Yeah, dude. Everybody was. Yeah, everybody. Yep. Yeah. Sony's still Sony's still on it. Square Enix is still on it. Wait, what? The DRM company deleted their statement on the Capcom thing? No way, dude. What, for real? Wild, dude. Yo, thanks. Yeah, we'll read this last. We'll do this last. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Oh, yeah. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'll pull that up too. Yeah. GDQ for sure. Yep. Nice. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the reminder. Love GDQ. Let's go ahead and start with this, actually. Guardians of the Galaxy is supposed to be a banger of a game, and you can get it for free right now if you haven't already gotten it on Epic's platform. It is free, as in zero monies for PC gamers until about 2 hours and 15 minutes from now, okay? So if you haven't gotten it yet, you've got limited time left before you can, to still grab this game before it goes away and Sell Forth will become the next game given away for free. Well, nobody really cares about consoles anymore, Soup, if you didn't know. So, you'll just have to go ahead and go grab this on PC. Look, I say this all the time about Epic. I'm not going to knock on somebody for playing on console. Gaming's about having fun. And if you have fun on whatever platform, you do you. That's fine. I am going to call out companies for doing things that I feel to be more scummy and, not being consumer friendly and not taking care of their consumers and things like that. And I feel like console is really becoming pretty bad on that front, which is why I've moved away a lot. A lot of people in this community understand that. If anybody needs me to elaborate, then please let me know and we can have a discussion about it. But I've talked about it a lot. I'm not going to deep dive into that, but I do feel like PC is a more consumer friendly place to be in current gaming. And it is becoming a more lucrative part of gaming, especially over about the past 5 years. We've seen gaming revenue-wise take off up above console for PC gaming, right? We've seen a chart come out here over the past few days. Now, mobile gaming is crushing both, but PC gaming is starting to tear away from console gaming as well, revenue-wise, by about $15 billion more a year right now, which I think is going to continue. Personally, I just see PC gaming as being a more advanced, consumer-friendly place for people to game than consoles are, excuse me. And this is one of the things, on PC, you get more free games. You get more free content. You just do. All the way around. Not just from Epic, but other platforms as well. And that's something that is a rarity, if anything, on any of the, console platforms. So that is just one area that is a pro for PC over console. And what I've promoted to people is, even if you don't play on PC right now, there's a chance you might play PC games in the future, right? And there's no reason why you shouldn't go ahead and just make an Epic account right now. If you don't already have an Epic account because you're not a PC gamer or whatever, then that's not a good enough reason. You might be a PC gamer in the future. It costs literally nothing to make an Epic account. You can just go to their website. You don't have to have their app or their, desktop application, mobile app or anything. You can just go to their website, Epic Games, create an account. It takes a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Then you can start grabbing their free games every single week, and you'll build up a library of free games. We know they're going to be doing free games again for the entire year of 2024. We've already found that out. And I can tell you that just over the past couple of years, I've already got a library of amazing games that consists of roughly 300 games at this point. And if at some point in the future you do decide to dive into PC gaming, you'll already have an amazing library of games to start playing, right? That you got for free. You can't beat that. There's no reason not to do that. So, other than laziness, really. It takes very, very little time to do this. And they give away free games every single week. And a lot of really notable games, too. So this is just something that for me is a no-brainer. People should be doing this, taking advantage of this, even if you're not a PC gamer, especially if you're a PC gamer currently. But even if you're not, you could become one in the future. And at that time, you would already have a lot of games to play. So take advantage of this. Heed my advice, man. Yeah. Okay, fair. Yeah. Yeah, all good, dog. Yeah, all good. Be safe. Have fun today, buddy. We'll see you later. Yep. So, let's kick off the news segment here. Ubisoft and MiHoYo among publishers signing up for NVIDIA's AI-generated video character tool. NVIDIA demos its generative AI tech for game devs. We've seen this. We've talked about this. Oh, buddy. It feels so good, dude. Ubisoft and MiHoYo, the developers behind Assassin's Creed and Genshin Impact, are among the first studios to sign up for NVIDIA Avatar Cloud Engine ACE, and a new AI-driven tech platform said to create more lifelike video game characters. The technology works by passing players' voices through a speech recognition model to create text according to NVIDIA, which is then added to a large language model, LLM. The LLM's response is moved through text-to-speech and animation models to create the final product. In-game characters that can speak dynamically with players. We've seen this. In a video demonstration of the technology shown at CES 2024, NVIDIA showcased dialogue between two NPCs who unsettlingly mused on the possibility of being AI-generated constructs before the characters begin interacting directly with a human demonstrator's speech. Demo was created by NVIDIA in collaboration with Convey, a company working on conversational AI. Other notable developers exploring the utilization of ACE include China's two biggest gaming companies, Tencent and NetEase. The technology, first revealed at Computex 2023, is trained on safe and secure data according to NVIDIA. It can be used across any engine, including Unreal Engine 5, and can run in real time through the cloud or offline on local hardware. Game developers have been ambivalent about AI since the technology became mainstream with the launch of ChatGPT in late of 2022. Speaking to IGN in April of last year, CDPR's Powell Sasko said AI is just going to be another tool we'll use for productivity and game development. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney said, I think we're going to see some really incredible advances and actual progress mixed in with a hype cycle where a lot of crazy stuff is promised. Nobody's going to be able to deliver. Other developers, specifically in the creative fields of writing, acting, and animating, have voiced concern over having their work plagiarized or made redundant. Abby Veffer, who did voice work for the Elder Scrolls Online's Necrom expansion, told IGN, quote, due to common misconceptions around actors' wages, many uneducated observers may think we're all equipped with expensive lawyers who can save us at the drop of a hat. They also assume that AI impersonations won't jeopardize our jobs, but that's entirely untrue. Most voice actors are not rich, and job stability doesn't really exist in this industry. We're all in the same boat. We all deserve protection from AI abuse. AI was a major sticking point in actors and writers' 2023 negotiations with Hollywood studios. Both the Writers Guild of America and the Screen Actors Guild ultimately earned protections from AI. It's set to be a big year for AI as the technology becomes more efficient and persuasive. Speaking at the Apex CEO Summit in November, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said the tech is set to take a leap forward that no one expected in 2024. If you haven't seen some of this video stuff, then take a look at this. But this is a good segue for where is this? Right here. We're going to segue now, after talking about that, into this AI voice deal for SAG-AFTRA. So we saw a lot of this last year, this NVIDIA's AI-generated character tool stuff. We even looked at another... We had another look at it here recently, a couple of days ago, a few days ago. And for people that weren't aware of what was going on, it was pretty surprising, to say the least, I think, of what happens, because it is very dynamic. It's very responsive. It's literally like having a conversation in game with an NPC that just kind of works on the fly, right? Whatever you have to say, these tools, these implementations, AI implementations within the game, they are able to compute, acknowledge what you're talking about, and address it, and spit out responses that address and are appropriate to what the input was from you as the game player. It's really impressive. It's the potential for immersion in games with this kind of implementation is incredible. There's also a lot of ethic and moral issues that can come about with this. A lot of it currently stems from what we just read about with the workforce driving it, or I guess the workforce that's going to be getting basically obliterated by it, if you will. And so, as well as the fact that, you know, any kind of technology like this, while we're talking about gaming naturally here, it you know, is what we do, video gaming news, and the implementation for gaming. This is going to be implemented in a lot of different ways, which is going to bait people into thinking that they're actually speaking with a human at times when you're not going to be. And the premise of what this can be used for good is interesting, and the ways in which it can be used for bad is scary. That's what technology always is, though. New advances in technology always bring about issues of the ways it can be used for good are amazing, and the ways that it can be used for bad is very scary. And so we got to be cognizant of those facts, and keep paying attention, and be very careful, I think. Now, segueing appropriately into this, video game actors speak out after union announces AI voice deal. SAG-AFTRA claims 80% of its members approved the terms. The Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA, has announced a new deal which it claims will protect actors from unauthorized AI replications of their voices. This is a huge deal. However, the deal, which has been made with AI firm Replica Studios, has divided video game actors as the controversial topic of AI replication in the world of performance comes to a head. According to SAG-AFTRA, the deal will enable Replica to engage SAG-AFTRA members under a fair, ethical agreement to safely create and license a digital replica of their voice. Licensed voices can be used in video game development and other interactive media projects, from pre-production to final release. The deal reportedly includes minimum terms and the requirement for performers' consent to use their voice for AI. However, several prominent video game voice actors were quick to respond on X, specifically to a portion of the statement which claims the deal was approved by affected members of the union's voiceover performer community. Apex Legends voice actor Erika Ishii wrote, "Approved by who exactly? Was any one of the affected members who signed off on this a working voice actor?" Starfield, Deus Ex, and Assassin's Creed actor Elias Tefui, I might have butchered that, echoed these concerns, writing, "I would humbly consider myself one of the top voice actors working in games. No one asked me about this. No one reached out for my opinion." Xander Mobus, best known for his role as the voice of the announcer in Super Smash Bros., wrote, "Flippin' who? Did any of y'all approve this? I didn't get told we were voting on this. SAG leadership, please, I'm begging you, stop showing your ass and do something to keep us working. You know, your job. You ain't licensors. You're a labor union. What are you guys doing?" In a statement to IGN, Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator for SAG-AFTRA, said, "Our AI deal with Replica Studios is an important step in ensuring the ethical application of these technologies in a way that ensures the use of members' voices occurs only with informed consent and fair compensation. This is a deal that covers one company with regard to our development of video games. This deal does not impact our IMA negotiations. Rather, it sets a model for our industry building on the terms approved by 80% of our members just a month ago, and we hope to see more companies adopting agreements like this one." In November, SAG-AFTRA approved a strike order following a vote of 98.32% from union members. Strike never transpired, but this deal could lay the foundation for more action from the U.S.'s voice acting labor union. There's going to be more to come from this, I guarantee it. The AI ones still sound fictional? Did you watch the Nvidia stuff the other day? It's getting pretty good. It's getting pretty good. There are definitely still going to be occasions where you can pull it out, but the advancement of it is pretty impressive. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff I've seen from Nvidia's side is pretty impressive. I think this is what I think that for you to say, like, there's no soul in it, right? I understand what you're saying. I would also say that with the advances on the AI side, with like what Nvidia is doing and everything, are you 100% positive that you would be able to tell every single time if they were to give you different pieces of software where you were interacting with NPCs, and some of them were AI generated and some of them were not? Do you think you would be able to pick out every single time with where it's at even right now? I don't think so. But okay, you're talking about a game that's also, how old is Watch Dogs Legion now, right? We're talking about the new technology. I'm not talking about anything that had old stuff in it. the technology has advanced quite a bit, and it is becoming more and more lifelike, and more it's your ability to discern between real voice acting and AI voice acting is getting less and less tell, right? Your ability to tell between the two, I think, is getting less and less. And from what I've seen of the current technologies being pushed out, are there still indicators from time to time? Yeah, there are. But is it always there? No, it's not. And I think that for most people, if you were to play, you get like 10 different pieces of just real quick pieces of software where you're interacting with NPCs with modern AI technology. 5 of them had modern AI technology in it for AI voice acting and the NVIDIA stuff in it, and the other 5 were just voice acted and everything. I think that it would be very, very, very hard to discern between the two. I really do. It's come a long ways. And actually, I'll even say this. I think that if you were able to spend extensive time in each piece of software, all 10 of them, I think the bigger telltale sign would be that with the AI generated stuff, it would be a better representation of randomness because it's generated on the fly. It's not just written text. Written text gets repetitive, where anytime you're interacting with an NPC over and over, you're bound to run across the same dialogue lines repetitively, right? Whereas with the AI generated stuff, anytime you talk to an NPC, it's bound to be different in some context. To some degree, it'll be different. Almost always. So that would probably be the bigger sign, actually. In my opinion, anyways. I know what you're saying about the, like, it feels like it has no soul thing. That's the way that a lot of the AI generated stuff has been for a bit. But it's getting very, very close. Very close. This in particular for the SAG-AFTRA stuff is this is a weird situation. Obviously, you know, there are a lot of people represented by SAG-AFTRA, and it's the same thing as, like, take any kind of, you know, even good video games that come out, even great video games that come out. You know, they don't play to everybody's preferences, right? Like, I know people that don't like games that literally almost everybody likes. Like a game like Valheim. I've talked to people that weren't real fond of Valheim. And almost everybody likes Valheim. You know what I mean? Things like that, you know? So this is kind of, you know, in a sense, the same situation. It's, you're not going to be able to appease everybody. I think what a group like SAG-AFTRA is trying to do is take care of as many of the people they represent as possible that are on the same page. You know what I mean? It's inevitable that, you know, not everybody that they represent is going to be 100% happy with everything that they come to negotiate here. So I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit and see exactly how many other people come forward and go, look, we're not being represented here appropriately, or you know, if this is like,
and I think I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description.
As opposed to the majority still being happy. So we'll just have to wait to see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see this. Sony is devising its own spatial headset tailor-made for video game creation to take on Apple Vision Pro. For game creation, not game playing. The world is abuzz with innovation from CES 2024, as it is, yeah, I know. Yeah. But it's too late. The world is abuzz with innovation as CES 2024 nears its closing time, but one exciting piece of technology out of Sony remains an interesting topic of discussion as the Apple Vision Pro soon hits the market. So the CES is ramping down. It was supposed to be like, what, 4 days, I think? 3 to 4 days worth of an event, and it started on the 8th, so this should be like the last day, I think, of it. And in the midst of its CES showcase, Sony gave a sneak peek of an upcoming mixed reality headset it's calling a spatial content creation platform. Slated for official release later this year, and unlike its Apple-based rival, is geared more for professional use cases, specifically in the 3D modeling sphere. Sony's headset sports somewhat similar specs to the Vision Pro. Main among them being its dual 1.3-inch 4K OLED micro displays, while other additions like bespoke controllers, a Qualcomm XR2 Plus Gen 2 processor, and proprietary rendering technology might allow it an interesting edge in the market. Could Sony give Apple a run for its money with its own spatial computer design? It's an important question as the MR tech space heats up, with avid contenders like Samsung and Google likewise jumping into the fray with their own headset design that could leave Apple's Vision Pro in the dust. Game creation at your fingertips. On stage amid its CES 2024 presentation, Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida delightedly introduced the crowd a new solution for spatial content creation. The MR headset, which takes a similar minimalist design ethos to that of the PSVR 2 and adds a touch of industrial gray, is being marketed more toward 3D modeling professionals as opposed to general consumers. Equipped with a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2, yep, we just talked about that. 6 total cameras and sensors, Sony's spatial headset will offer users a crisp viewing experience with incredible space tracking. Yoshida explained that the concept uses a proprietary rendering technology for essentially overlaid 3D design processes in the physical world. Short demonstration best underlines the potential of this new hardware, showing how wearers can freely move and control objects using the device's 2 bespoke remotes. The ring is used to manipulate and move objects in a variety of ways, whereas its accompanying hand controller is for pointing in the wearer's dominant hand. Users can not only interact with digital 3D models in the physical plane, but also edit and create them on the fly. The headset's excuse me. The headset's visor can also be lifted up to allow wearers instant and easy access back to the physical realm without having to take the entire headset off. Interesting. Not the first time Sony's dabbled in such technology, as witnessed with its $5,000 spatial reality display that released all the way back in 2020. The 15.6-inch 4K holographic display gave users a similarly crisp look at their 3D models in physical space. It wasn't exactly the most compelling product out of Sony, but it certainly paved a path to the company's future MR innovations. Sony's spatial 3D design headset, which still doesn't have an official name, will be hitting shelves sometime later this year, with a price still to be determined. Both Sony and Apple aren't the only ones diving headlong into the spatial headset sphere. Samsung and Google apparently are also bringing these types of spatial headsets to the market as well. So we'll just have to see what comes here. But interesting. If Sony released that monitor at a $5,000 price point, what's a spatial headset going to cost, you know? Yeah. Now it's GTA. GTA isn't even now. GTA's future, dude. Retailer list is V2 PS5 DualSense with improved battery life. So more from Sony here. The new controller will probably last up to 12 hours. Interesting. V2 version of the PS5's DualSense controller has been spotted at a retailer. According to the Walmart Canada listing, the new first-party controller will come bundled with a DualSense charging station and support exceptional 12-hour battery life, allowing long gaming sessions. According to the listing, the V2 DualSense will have the same price as its predecessor at $90 Canadian and the same dimensions. If authentic, this new controller would be a significant improvement on the original, which includes a 1500 I forgot what it stands for. Battery that lasts around, what is this? I can't remember what this stands for off the top of my head, man. Milliampere an hour. There you go. Milliampere an hour. Yep. Includes a 1500 milliampere an hour battery and lasts around 6 hours in demanding titles which use all of its features. The more premium DualSense Edge controller, they spelt that wrong. Disappointingly for users, uses the same battery as the original DualSense, stays powered for even less time. Yep. Yeah, I knocked them pretty hard for that. VGC has asked Sony for comment on this story. In November, all DualSense controller colors were put on sale for Black Friday, potentially to clear stock. Yeah, the DualSense Edge controller launched last year with a recommended retail price of $200 US and didn't even have a better battery in it. Blech. Well, we'll see if this is truly a thing yet. That's interesting. Yeah, that. Well, we'll see. Interesting. I mean, this would be great if they're actually releasing new controllers, version 2 of their DualSense, to have 12-hour battery life. That'd be fantastic. That would mean that their battery would probably be like a 2500 battery instead of the 1500, you know, something like that. We'll have to pay attention as we move forward. I'm sure it'll come out. Oh, dude, this is brutal. You know, last year was a brutal year in the tech industry as a whole and in the gaming industry as far as layoffs, and it's just really carried over into this year to a great extent already. And now we're seeing where Twitch will reportedly lay off around 500 employees this week. The company will reportedly reduce its workforce by 35%. There's been a lot of stuff that's gone down just since I've been streaming. I started in May of 2021, and there's been a lot of not good looks about this platform. A lot of daunting kind of things that have happened to make myself, and I'm sure many other streamers and content creators concerned about what the future holds for the platform that we utilize here. I've got a backup plan right now if things go south very quickly, for us to be able to pivot over and get our community set up on another platform if need be. I don't necessarily want to. I like Twitch, but it does feel like the longer Amazon's been in charge of Twitch, the more bad things have been happening, honestly. And this is significant. This isn't the first time they've reduced workforce behind Twitch as well. And let's see what we've got to say here. So, the streaming giant Twitch is set to lay off around 500 members of staff this week, according to a new report. According to Bloomberg, the Amazon-owned platform will reduce its workforce by 35%. Twitch declined to comment on the story when approached by Bloomberg. This is the latest blow in a difficult period for the streaming frontrunner. Last year, the company fired over 400 employees as part of company-wide cuts at parent company Amazon. The platform has also faced struggles with its viewers and creators in recent years as controversy swirls around content policies and what is actively promoted on the platform, such as partial or implied nudity. This coincides with rival streaming platform Kick offering massive deals to some of Twitch's highest viewed creators. In December, the company announced plans to end service in South Korea, and a move that Twitch owed to skyrocketing ISP fees, which are far higher in South Korea than in other territories in which Twitch operates. After a tough 2023, job losses in the video game sector have continued into this year as well. Earlier this week, which we read about, Unity announced it intends to lay off approximately 1,800 employees, or 25% of its workforce. This is the fourth round of layoffs at Unity in the last year and follows a period of significant instability for the company. In October, it announced that John Ricciatello was stepping down as president and CEO effective immediately. Last year, it's estimated that over 9,000 people lost their jobs in the video game sector alone. That's not including technology as a whole. Technology as a whole, I think, was well over like 20,000. Companies impacted by layoffs include Xbox, Epic, Sony, CD Projekt Red, Unity, Riot Games, Blizzard, Crystal Dynamics, BioWare, Striking Distance, Team 17, Frontier Developments, Telltale Games. Here's the thing that's crazy. I've talked about this so much. I'm so tired of talking about this. But it's disgusting to talk about. And there's no transparency about what's going on here. Literally ever by any of these companies. There's no transparency about what's happening. We just keep getting more studios laying off more people, shuttering their subsidiaries. It's terrible to see. And some of the more recent stuff we've seen is like Sony has come out. It's been revealed that Sony is even at the point of making one of their best first-party studios, and Insomniac Games fire employees, and then comes out immediately afterwards and is talking about how PlayStation is having a record-breaking year in 2023. They had a record-breaking year in 2023, but they're making one of their best first-party studios fire people. It's incredible to and really just mind-boggling to see how there's so much revenue being generated, how profitable the games industry is, and how so many of these big studios are making so much money, and yet they're just continuing to just obliterate their workforce. It's a difficult thing to read every single day, and it literally feels like that. It feels like every day we do the news, we read about more stuff. And while the Twitch situation isn't even necessarily video games, it's a platform where people are able to broadcast and share talents, skills. A lot of it is based around video gameplay and stuff like that, which is what our community is about. We do the news, but we always play games every day too. It's a struggle, dude, to see this on the constant. And I don't know. It doesn't look like it's getting any better. Again, we ended 2023 with an article where I was just praying basically that this would not roll over, into 2024. This terrible reality that we're seeing of constant layoffs for gaming and tech and everything. And here we are, man. It absolutely has. And again, I think that the toughest thing for me about it is there's no transparency from any of these companies. So many of them are still so very profitable, record-breaking years, but they're firing people, and on the constant. It's we don't get any kind of. The only thing you can figure is it's just the only thing that I can assume and take away from these kinds of situations is that there's a lot of mismanagement. There's a lot of bad business decisions that have been made, but who pays for those bad business decisions? It's the lower people on the business, the business's totem pole, if you will. And it's not the people that made those bad business decisions in the first place. Like with Epic, we saw Epic lay off 850 people towards the end of last year, and then they're selling off companies like Bandcamp that they bought just a year and a half before. Things like that. But it's, who pays the price for these bad business decisions? Not the people at the top, not the people that made those decisions to do that kind of thing, right? It's the people at the bottom. It's the people that have you know, or mid-level or whatever, the people that are really the foundation for what has gotten these companies to where they're at and everything, they're the ones that pay the price, and it's disgusting, dude. It's terrible to see. I don't know what else you can take away from it other than that. Whenever these companies don't tell us anything either, it's gross. New 343 Halo project in development since 2022. A sharp-eyed user on Reddit, Quillenite2324, has spotted 2 different job descriptions on LinkedIn that suggest 343 Industries has worked on a new Halo project since April of 2022. First hint refers to Justin Dinges, who has already worked on previous Halo titles. Dinges was an environment artist on Halo 4 and 5, earning more responsibilities with each sequel. They eventually worked as a game director on Halo Infinite. Dinges' profile currently says that they worked on Halo's next unannounced release as an art director between April of 2022 and March of 2023. The second job description that Quillenite2324 discovered points to Ian Slutz. Sorry. They have been a senior character systems designer for 343 Industries since 2019. Their job description mentions working on a player systems and assets in Unreal Engine 5. Doesn't directly reference the new Halo game. However, the next Halo title is expected to be built on UE5. That approach was referenced in October of 2023 during an episode of the gaming podcast SG Bitcast. Site's editor-in-chief Ains mentioned that a team was building the next generation of Halo on Unreal. Could mean that Sluts has been actively working on the title's UE5 structure. Halo Infinite began with a strong multiplayer launch, but quickly wore out its welcome for some fans. Full game was missing some essential features and took a while to catch up with expectations.
It's time to get up off your knees.
Yeah.
And get up on your
Even the live action adaptation was apparently not very good. There had been so much going on with
walk your body to that.
Microsoft, I think, not being pleased with what 343 had done with Halo so far, that there had been talk of 343 being entirely pulled off of Halo, outside of just maintaining some kind of like advisory role. That's what we were reading last year, but maybe that's not the case. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens moving forward. Activision Blizzard games won't be at Xbox Developer Direct. Developer Direct happens on the 18th. We'll watch it here. When is this exactly? What time? We're supposed to see more Avowed. Hopefully it'll look better than what I've seen so far. The newest Saga 2. I'm really scared about this game. A lot of people are really psyched. I'm looking at this as another game that's just a visual experience with a little bit of gameplay, and that's not what I want in my games. Indiana Jones. Okay. Let's see if we can find this. Come on, go back. Stop that. So 2 o'clock our time. 2 o'clock p.m. A week from today. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really like Obsidian. I do. But I'm not real stoked about what I'm hearing coming out of Avowed right now. And I'm not stoked about Senua's Saga anymore either, after what I've been seeing out of that. I don't know. I'm not expecting a whole lot, dude, out of the developer direct right now. So, I mean, we're going to watch it. We're definitely going to watch it. I'll bookmark this. We'll watch it next Thursday, but I'm not real stoked. Activision Blizzard games won't be at the developer direct, though. So, Microsoft has announced its next Xbox Developer Direct event for Thursday, January 18th, where it'll cover a number of games Xbox fans will get to play later this year. What it won't have, however, are any updates on Activision Blizzard games. In the announcement of the Developer Direct, Xbox says that Activision Blizzard won't have any games appear. Okay. However, their time is coming. Quote, please note that while this show won't have any updates on games from Activision Blizzard, you can look forward to news from those teams later this year, the company said. While Activision Blizzard won't be part of the Xbox Developer Direct, there are some major games set to get updates. Indiana Jones, Avowed, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, yep. And there will be some other stuff, I'm sure. So, we'll see. But Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are the next Activision Blizzard games coming to GeForce Now. Get in there. Get in there. There we go. That's close enough. They are joining Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which was added in late November. So Diablo 4 and Overwatch will soon be available to stream on NVIDIA's cloud gaming service, GeForce Now, the company confirmed during its CES 2024 keynote. This announcement comes as no surprise, as it is part of a deal that NVIDIA and Activision Blizzard's parent company, Microsoft, struck last year, that would bring Xbox first-party games onto GeForce Now. Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are the second and third Activision Blizzard games to be added to GeForce Now, with the first one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, added to the service last November. NVIDIA has not shared a release date for when both games will be available on the service, but says both will be added to GeForce Now soon. New games aside, NVIDIA also made additional announcements regarding its cloud gaming service, including confirmation that Ultimate membership tier subscribers will soon be able to use Cloud G-Sync technology to match the refresh rate of G-Sync compatible monitors, and that all GeForce Now members with Android smartphone users will be able to stream games from that service at 1440p resolution. Cool. If you need anything out of here, take a look. There you go. Also, whoa, NVIDIA! The Diablo 4 Season 3 release date has also been confirmed. New season of content launches in late January. Blizzard has confirmed the Diablo 4 Season 3 release date. New message from the game's login screen spotted by Destructoid reads, Season 3 next season begins January 23rd. Earlier this week, Diablo community developer director Adam Fletcher suggested fans won't have to wait long for news about what's coming in the game's third season. I know there's a lot of anticipation towards Season 3 for Diablo 4, he said. We've been a bit quiet due to people rolling back in from holiday break. We will have some news to share very soon, including times for our developer update live stream. Blizzard previously said it was planning to introduce leaderboards in Season 3, but little else is known about the game's next major update. The studio announced D4's first expansion, Vessel of Hatred, in November. Revealed during BlizzCon's opening ceremony via a teaser trailer, the expansion will launch in late 2024, with more details to come next summer. Vessel of Hatred continues the grim tale that began in Diablo 4 as you learn the fate of the primeval Mephisto and his demonic plans for Sanctuary. To do that, you'll be visiting a region new to Diablo 4 known by the locals as Nahantu. With this continuation of the campaign story comes new ways to play, new evils to vanquish, and a brand new class never before seen in the Diablo universe. So, January 23rd, Diablo 4 Season 3. There you go. 1440p, not on Apple. There will soon be a Steam OS portable gaming PC other than the Steam Deck. Until now, the only way to use Steam OS on portable gaming PC is to purchase a Steam Deck from Valve. While we may have to wait for a while for a full-fledged Steam Deck 2, probably about 3 years, is what Valve, excuse me, That's what Valve has been saying. Probably roughly 2 to 3 years before we'll actually get a new Steam Deck. They upgraded the Steam Deck already, but to get a new Steam Deck will be another 2 to 3 years. What do you mean, Soup? Another company has now jumped in announcing plans for its own SteamOS handheld PC. Oh, you mean like just as far as like handhelds and stuff? Yeah, we were just talking about this. Yeah, we were just talking about this. Yeah, dude, yeah. Ioneo, which has released handheld gaming PCs based on Windows in the past, has just revealed the Ioneo Next Lite. In a blog post, the company confirmed it will come pre-installed with Valve Steam OS. New addition to the Ioneo, I might be butchering this, Ioneo Next lineup of portable PCs. Both the Next and the Next Pro both normally cost well over $1,000. The Next Lite is supposed to offer a handheld gaming PC that's more affordable than some of its other products. Company says its new Steam OS handheld inherits the Explore design language and Next Grip ergonomic handles. Has a 7-inch display with 800p resolution, 47 watt large capacity battery, a Hall sensing joystick, and X-axis linear motors. While other hardware specs are not mentioned, we would imagine this new device uses AMD Ryzen processor, as other Ioneo Windows PCs from the company have had inside in the past. Ioneo? Is that what it is? Ioneo? Okay, thanks. We don't know what the price is for the Ioneo Next Lite. However, we should learn a lot more when orders for the PC handheld go live on their site starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time today. It'll be on this site. I wonder if they're promoting it. Is it going to load? I don't know if it's going to load. But here, I'll give you this link anyways. That way, if you're interested, take a look. The Claw. Yeah. What a weird name, dude. What's a weird name for a handheld, I feel like? Chinese companies resort to repurposing NVIDIA gaming chips for AI. If you didn't know, the NVIDIA chips that are being exported to China have been basically their power has been dumbed down by about 10%. You know, per the U.S. government, they didn't want China utilizing the full potential of these chips for AI purposes, so they made NVIDIA take the chips, make them less powerful by about 10%, and before they could be exported out to China, is roughly what happened, I think. U.S. export controls forced developers to strip components from PC graphics cards. So China's the result is going to be this. Chinese companies are resorting to chips repurposed from standard PC gaming products to develop artificial intelligence tools after Washington blocked U.S. exports of high-performance processors. Thousands of NVIDIA gaming graphics cards are being stripped of their core components in factories and workshops every month before being installed on new circuit boards, according to 2 factory managers and 2 chip buyers familiar with the situation. Industry experts said the repurposing of chips from cards designed to be slotted into consumer PC motherboards to improve gaming graphics amounted to a rough workaround to tackle the lack of high-end processors in China. While NVIDIA's gamer-focused products have raw computing power, they are not as capable in the high-precision calculations needed for training some large language models with bigger data sets. Due to the limitations of interconnection speeds between chips, it is also challenging to overcome this by simply grouping more chips in computing clusters. Quote, "This is a desperate move by Chinese companies under the export controls, just like using a kitchen knife to create artwork. It's doable, but the effect is suboptimal," said Charlie Chai, an analyst at research group 86 Research. The Biden administration tightened export controls for cutting-edge AI chips in October, making it more difficult for chip companies such as NVIDIA to sell high-performance semiconductors to China. Demand for the graphics processing units sourced from the gaming cards has surged in the past month. According to people familiar with the situation, one of the factory managers said workers had disassembled more than 4,000 NVIDIA gaming cards in December, more than 4 times the number in November. Customers for the repurposed components have been mainly public enterprises and small AI labs, which had not stockpiled enough NVIDIA server chips before the new U.S. export controls took effect, according to the 2 factory managers. They declined to reveal more details about their clients due to the sensitivity of the issue. However, industry experts and analysts warned that modifications to NVIDIA's products violated the company's intellectual property rights, while some of the gaming cards could be banned from being sold to China at any time. Yeah, NVIDIA's most powerful gaming graphics board, the GeForce RTX 4090, was one of the most popular models to be repurposed, but it has now been blocked from being sold to China, the company said. To comply with the latest controls, NVIDIA came out with a slower version of the banned cards last month called the GeForce RTX 4090D, which is 5% slower than versions sold outside China, according to the company. One of the factory managers said the performance gap between the modified versions of the 4090D and the 4090 would be more significant, which could mean the slower version was not powerful enough for large language model training. The manager said a batch had been procured for further verification. NVIDIA told the Financial Times that, quote, disassembling gaming cards is not a viable way to create data center compute clusters for AI, adding that gaming products were designed, manufactured, and marketed for individual gamers and consumers. NVIDIA has developed 3 chips tailored for China that meet the region's growing demand for AI systems while complying with U.S. export controls, enabling the company to maintain its foothold in one of the most important markets. Chinese customers have also objected to the prices NVIDIA hopes to set for these inferior processors, which are close to those of their more powerful banned counterparts, the 3 people said. Yeah, if you need more out of it, I'll link it. Does feel gross though, doesn't it? Paying the same amount for something that is not as good as other people are getting in other parts of the world. Feels bad. Yeah. Oh, dude, here we go. Here we go. So, this is pretty disgusting. I didn't even know. I knew this like collab was happening. I knew that, you know, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth skins and stuff were coming to Apex. This is obviously going to be something between EA and Square Enix, right? But the as EA is the publisher behind Apex, and Square Enix holds the licenses to all the Final Fantasy stuff, as they are the developers behind Final Fantasy. I think that you know, I need to begin this with a sentiment that I express quite often when it comes to video games in general. When you're talking about a game as a service, a live service game, free-to-play games, things of that nature, I think especially on the free-to-play front, I think it's appropriate to take a look from time to time at how much entertainment you've gotten out of that piece of software. You know, how much entertainment you've gotten out of that game. And I think that there's times where you go, you have to take a look and go, I've gotten a substantial amount of entertainment, of gameplay time out of this game, and I haven't had to pay anything for it. So it's probably, you know, appropriate that I give back to the developer a little bit here, right? So we'd all know that there have been great examples of free-to-play games and terrible examples of free-to-play games in the way that they monetize things. I am never going to be behind pay-to-win. I think pay-to-win is disgusting. I'm not about it. But the better free-to-play games, you know, and we can do examples. Apex is one of them, I feel like. Apex Legends is a pretty dope game. Talk about Path of Exile or Warframe, things of that nature. I think Lost Ark's a good one too. Different genres of games to bring up there and talk about in the free-to-play realm of gaming that have done very well just based off of, you know, mostly cosmetic types of monetization, right? There's going to be a little bit of pay to progress, which I'm okay with. Pay to progress and you know, maybe a little bit of quality of life there and something like Path of Exile with some stash tabs and things of that nature. We have to understand that, like, very well developed free to play games, you know, they've got to find ways to make their money. And I think that most of us as gamers understand this sentiment, right? And we're accepting of that. Much more as opposed to a game that is getting ready to release like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is AAA price point, and they are monetizing the crap out of it, right? That's disgusting. I'm sorry. It's gross. I hate to see that kind of crap. Or something like Exo Primal that was also AAA price tag that is just monetized all to heck. You know, it's gross to see that kind of crap. So I'm more understanding, and I think most of us as gamers are more accepting of the fact that these developers pushing out free-to-play games, especially when they're very, very well-developed free-to-play games, need to monetize, right? And as long as it's done the right way, we're going to be okay with that. And I think it's appropriate that we give back to if you've gotten a good amount of time of playing these games, it's appropriate that you take a look at giving back to these developers from time to time. If you've gotten a substantial amount of time playing these games and entertainment out of playing these games, you should be looking at giving back from time to time. You know, whether it's buying into a battle pass or, you know, buying a skin or what have you, whatever floats your boat. You know, as long as you're giving back for what you're getting out of it, then I feel like that's everybody's situation's different. Everything's a bit relative to your own personal situation as far as how, you know, you are financially, you know, and stuff like that. But it's appropriate to give back if you're getting a good amount of entertainment out, right? But there's also these situations that come about sometimes that feel very, very scummy and very gross and ridiculous as far as monetization is concerned. And I'm getting wind of a situation here with the Final Fantasy VII stuff, and consider me not surprised. Coming out of a company behind Apex like EA, who is one of the more notoriously disgusting companies in the gaming industry, and Square Enix, who is becoming one of the same types of companies, in my opinion, that something like this is happening between both of them collabing in a game for skins, and it's just an absurd amount of money, right? So now that we have this prefaced here, let's dive into this article. Apex Legends players call out ridiculous costs of new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth skins. Apex Legends players, are calling out the supposedly ridiculous costs of the new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth event skins, asking players to spend upwards of $300 US to collect them all. Announced back at the 2023 Game Awards, the unexpected, which is also a big industry scamaz, it's just a big industry ruse, which is disgusting to see nowadays. The unexpected crossover between Apex Legends and Final Fantasy is finally arriving in the game on January 9th, so that was 2 days ago, with 36 cosmetic items being added in the popular Battle Royale with various weapons and Legends skins, chief among them. There's a lot for players to look forward to. However, the crossover brought something new. Many of the items are only available through event packs, and players are calling out Respawn as a result. Respawn and EA need to be called out here. Respawn as well. Agreed. Respawn has done some pretty terrible stuff as of late. in some of their games. They're the ones that have done the Jedi games as well, which are disgustingly gross. They've released unfinished products. It's terrible to see. And I've been pretty outspoken about Respawn as well. But Respawn is the developer, EA is the publisher, Square Enix as their collaborative partner here. It's all gross, dude. They all need to be called out here. In order to get all of the event skins, you'll allegedly need to spend upwards of $300. Unlike previous collection events, in which if you wanted to get the collection heirloom, you'd need to buy all the event items, which would require players to spend around $160. Things are a bit different this time around. This time, the heirloom, the Buster Sword R2, R5, can be obtained through the event packs, but with a very small chance of being able to unbox it with only a 1% chance. There's your gamba. There's your gamba. Players on the Apex subreddit have seemingly done the math. They have found the odds of actually pulling the Buster Sword appear to be extremely low. If a player were to purchase 30 packs, their chance of getting the Mythic is 3.4% according to the study. So if you want a near guarantee you'll get the heirloom, you'll need to spend upwards of $300 to get the Mythic, and players aren't happy with the cost to get it. $300 plus for this is ridiculous. If you love Apex Legends, you have to know that supporting these ridiculous practices will not fix any of the real issues that plague this game, and instead will just keep getting more overpriced events. Absolutely. Very well stated, Macro. I like it. If you love Apex Legends, you have to know. Yeah, that's what we just read, right? So, Fortnite players vow not to complain about skin prices after comparing to Apex and SF6. Yeah, I mean, we put things into perspective, maybe, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean it's still not scummy on Epic's part, but we'll stick to this article here for now. Random vote time, let's go. Cool. So it's a bad look. Again, I think most of us as gamers are accepting and comfortable with the fact of understanding that developers are going to need to make money on free-to-play games, but there's an acceptable way to do it, an appropriate way to do it, and then there's an absolutely disgustingly scummy way to do it, which is what this feels like. But I mean, what do you guys expect? You know, I talk about this all the time. Second. I apologize. Yeah, okay. I talk about this all the time, and you know, there are a large number of massive corporations in the video gaming industry that don't deserve to be supported, right? And this is just another example of why. You know, we're talking about Respawn as a company that I'll admit in the past I think they've done good stuff. I think Apex is a pretty solid game. I've been playing some more Titanfall 2. I think it's a dope game that they did as well. But as of recent, the Jedi games, you know, pretty gross the way they've released those games. You know, people be like, well, yeah, the content's good though, you know, but how can you even begin to experience the content when the games are released being unfinished? They're baiting people into buying unfinished products. It's not fair. You know, this should not be something that we allow to happen and that we should be comfortable with. Companies releasing games that are unfinished and they know people will buy because it says something like Star Wars on it. That's balls. It's crap. It shouldn't happen, and we shouldn't be comfortable with letting it happen. We shouldn't be buying into these products and supporting these companies doing this kind of crap. So Respawn can get wrecked. EA is disgusting. They have been forever. They're terrible. EA is the publisher here, right? If I remember correctly, right, it should be EA under Apex. Let's make sure here. Yep, Electronic Arts, absolutely. And then you've got Square Enix on the other side. And Square Enix, you know, was one of my favorite developers when I was younger. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. It has been ever since it released. Original Final Fantasy VII. I still own it. I love that game. And you know, it's I feel like Square Enix is turning into what Blizzard is for me. You know, they were at one time a very respectable, I think they still make good content, you know, but they're turning into one of the more disgusting companies to be dealing with in the industry. They've got a huge, you know, aim towards things like, and they're very public about it, things like NFTs and blockchain and Web3 and pay to play and stuff like that. And it's, you know, when you see a company pivot into things like that, you know that all they care about is money. They're not caring about the content that I'm sorry, Final Fantasy 16 was not a Final Fantasy game. That was a Devil May Cry game or a Bayonetta game that had a Final Fantasy skin on it, right? I'm not saying it was a bad developed game or anything, but it wasn't Final Fantasy. You know, they're losing their touch. They're consumed by what appears to be greed, no concern for, you know, content or community, you know, their fan base, their consumer base, anything like that. They're turning into something that I've seen happen many times before. And I'm not surprised to see a collaboration like this be an absolute greed fest. I'm just not. It feels bad. It always feels bad. But I'm not surprised. And so the same sentiment that I push out all the time of support the good companies, don't support the bad companies. You know, we continue to support the bad companies. We continue to get crap like this that happens. Support the good companies and let these companies fall by the wayside. You know what I mean? Then, you know, we don't continue to get this kind of crap coming out of these kinds of companies. I don't know. I guess that's what I've got out of it. It's on us, really. I mean, there's nobody else that's going to take care of us like we will. And us as a collective community of gaming enthusiasts and consumers have to do the best we can by us. That's all there is to it. And now, thanks, Soup. Here we go. We've got some Capcom stuff here. Capcom accused of adding new DRM to back catalog to prevent mods. Games publisher Capcom is being accused of stealthily adding DRM to some of its back catalog of games. Players are reporting a degradation in performance as a direct result. After a fuss last year forced the gaming giant to remove the highly unpopular and controversial de novo DRM from Resident Evil Village, it seems another DRM issue is bearing down on the company. The DRM in question is called Enigma Protector, and it prevents mods and the use of the cheat engine program. More damningly, Enigma Protector seems to be adding stutters to gaming and reducing frame rates by between 10 to 16 frames per second, once again leaving the bizarre scenario where pirated copies of the game run better than legitimate paid-for copies. A video surfaced on YouTube 2 months ago on the Capcom R&D channel of a presentation suggesting a will within the company to create its in-house DRM to work alongside de novo. It seems we may have reached that point. The description of the video reads, quote, PC games have always been subject to cheating and piracy. Malicious cheating and piracy can reduce the value of the product and lead to a loss of profit. This presentation will explain the past background and current efforts to combat cheating and piracy. How long is this? 50 minutes. I'm not watching this right now. You guys can take a look, though. The complaints at the moment center around the 10-year-old Resident Evil Revelations, which even after a decade still has a very positive review rating on Steam. Seems odd that Capcom would choose to re-protect such an old title and incur a cost for doing so. So there is potential that these accusations are inaccurate, but reports that the Enigma Protector is blocking mods are rife on the Steam community forums. User Damn Shark said they have been adding Enigma Protector to their games, even old games. Maybe a part of their recent anti-modding stance, truly incomprehensible to be honest. It seems Capcom might be going after modders of its games and trying to clamp down, as reports on Twitter a few weeks back highlighted Capcom games featuring speedrunning or any kind of mod were hit with copyright strikes and removed from YouTube. In the middle of 2023, Capcom was embarrassed when a Street Fighter 6 major tournament... Oh, yeah. Major tournament host forgot to turn off his nude Chun-Li mod, and the show went live, with viewers getting more than they perhaps bargained for. Yeah. This created a lot of controversy and was the catalyst for Capcom in doing a lot of this kind of stuff. It felt like. Yeah. And then the Enigma Protector software protection. So, a user has stated Capcom has implemented your product on their back catalog of games, is causing performance drops, crashes, and has broken many popular mods people use to make these games run better. PC community is very angry and has noticed the implementation of your product. It is being mentioned in a ton of negative Steam reviews. You should be aware that there is likely a huge negative PR storm coming your way. Possibly offer Capcom advice on how to implement your product properly, as you've angered a lot of people. It wouldn't surprise me if big PC YouTubers like Digital Foundry pick up on the issue and make their many subscribers aware. The reply here by Enigma: curious, what action do you need from us? Why do you blame us that someone use our software? Someone use, we do not push to use it. What is our guilt, you think? And why are you so sure that all that you reported belongs to our software? Maybe you are so angered because you can't use the cheats anymore. Oh, man. Yeah. What a hostile first response. They didn't tell you to do anything. They just informed you of an ongoing issue involving your product. They're sure the issues stem from your product because the games have been updated with just this change, and now stuff is broken and performance is down. Modding a single-player game is not cheating. Modifying your own software experience without affecting others is not cheating. Agreed. This will lead to your protection being cracked. You might know of Denuvo and their constant battle with getting cracked because it's used for games. That's your situation now. Also, the original commenter replied as well. FOV mods are cheats? Oh dear. Well, this was sure an interesting and very professional response. I'm sure it will go down well on Twitter, Reddit, and Steam. Also interesting that you don't care your product is causing performance issues. Oh, man. Oh, they were quick to delete it. I'm sure they were. Yeah, I'm sure they were. This was actually as of today too. This was January 11th. You guys can all see this, you know. This is fantastic, you know. So and this is, you can see the Enigma responses and everything. That's pretty bad, dude. That's pretty bad. Yikers. Yeah, if you guys want more out of this. I know it was linked before. Yeah, it was very corpo. You're right. Yeah. Thanks, Soup. I appreciate this info, dude. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a, you know, that's not a good look. It's not a good look. Not at all. It never, you know, I mean, it's always a bit surprising to me at how poorly a lot of these companies are at addressing any kind of potential criticism, you know? This response is a perfect example. Instead of addressing this in a way where they're talking about trying to be proactive in the situation and thanking the commenter for their concern and trying to make them aware of these potential issues so that they can try and address it and get ahead of this issue and things like that, they just immediately feel like they're being attacked, you know? And it's not a good look. It really isn't. What that does whenever companies react that way, it makes them look way more. Immediately, people are like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely you. You're definitely the problem." You know, like it makes you look so much more guilty. You know. Last thing I have for the day, guys, and this will be it for our news segment for today. January 11th. All right. So just to promote something real quick is a GDQ, an amazing organization as far as I'm concerned. They do a lot of great stuff. They do a number of awesome events every single year. It's all about speed running, right? And even I would say even if you're not a speedrunning guru or something. This is still a really cool event to attend and watch. It's all about bringing gamers together, really, is what it is. These events are, and about generating. It's for charity. It's about generating money for charities. This they're about to kick off their first event of 2024, which is a GDQ Awesome Games Done Quick 2024, held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, from the 14th through the 21st. So for a week long, it'll be 7 days a week. You know, 7 days a week. It'll be 7 days, the 14th through the 21st, and it'll be 24 hours a day, right? So they'll have a schedule. I'll show you the schedule in a moment. Their event is benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. They raise millions of dollars for at this point with the how big this these events have gotten, this organization has gotten. They raise a substantial amount of money for charity every single event, and it's fantastic. And it's cool to see so many gamers come together for a good cause, right? And yeah, so like Soup's saying in chat, they do all kinds of really wild runs, really cool runs. They have a schedule, right? So here's the schedule right here where you can go look, and even if you don't want to watch or you can't watch the entire something went wrong, feels good, so maybe their schedule is down right now. They might be working on it right now. It was up, but they do have a schedule that's normally available. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see it shows what time it's supposed to be starting, on what day, what the game is, what the type of run is, any percent unrestricted, master, 101%, any percent, and what platform it's being played on, all of this any percent glitch list, that kind of stuff on the Game Gear, you name it. They play so many different types of games, who the actual runner is, and who the host is for each run, all of this kind of stuff. They give you a breakdown of everything that's going to be happening. And on the last day, they always have like some fun stuff that happens with particular games where if they hit certain thresholds and goals of what they're trying to do for the entire event, benefit-wise, and how much money they're trying to raise, they'll do some special runs to end out the event and stuff like that, which is really neat. So, and basically they have a lot of stuff that gets donated, you know, for sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's hardware, sometimes it's, you know, just collectibles and things like that. It could be plushies, it could be posters, all kinds of stuff like that gets you know, donated to this event, so that whenever people donate money, and this shouldn't be the primary focus, but just so you know, when people donate to the cause, you get put in for raffles for some of these different giveaways and things like that, which is really neat, you know. So it's just really cool. It's you know, they just recently got back to where they're doing this as in-person events for about 2 to 3 years after the pandemic hit. They kind of had to get away from doing these in person, but they're back to doing them in person, which is really cool. There's ways to check out how to get tickets, how to go attend, how to actually register to be a runner, things like that. It's a cool event. It's a cool event all the way around. And I think that they deserve a lot of recognition for the things that they do for generating money for these worldwide kinds of charities. Again, this one is going to be for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. They do Doctors Without Borders. They do a lot of that kind of stuff. So take a look. I'm going to link this site. This is also a Twitch page that gets recommended off of our channel here on The Constant. So GDQ is their Twitch page is always a recommendation off of our channel here. I've been a fan of GDQ for such a very long time, and I will continue to promote them every time they have an event coming up, because I feel like it's definitely something that people should be checking out and trying to be a part of. Okay, so I guess that's it, man. That's it. That's the jam. That's the news for today. Thanks to everybody that was a part of it. Thanks to everybody for participating. Soup for the additional articles, man, for the DRM stuff with Capcom and everything, And I just appreciate you guys very much. So we're going to get ready to move on and play some, holy crap, Fallout New Vegas, which we haven't played in roughly 3 months, but we need to finish this game up. So we're going to try to get in there and do that, okay? DRM Bacon. So, I don't know. If anybody's been able to hang out this morning, you're not familiar with what we do. This is our jam. We stream 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday. So yesterday was our normal day off. We're playing a little bit of catch up this morning on the news from yesterday being a down day, but 6 days a week we're live. We start at 6 a.m., roughly 6 a.m. CST, CDT. We always begin with video gaming news, try to stay current with what's going on in the industry. And then we move on and play games for the rest of the day together. So if you can dig that, then come be a part of what we do when we are live. Whether you're seeing this live now or as a VOD later on, all of our content, I do my very best to make sure the majority of our content, whether it be the video gaming news segments, playthroughs we've done, funny clips and highlights, that stuff is on our Twitch channel and playlists, as well as the YouTube channel and playlists as well. And so we're always looking for more people to just come be a part of what we do. You can go check out the previous stuff we've done. And but we always are looking for more people to come be a part of what we do when we're live. You know, we've got an awesome community of people here that are all about just trying to be wholesome, sending out good vibes, taking care of one another, being civil about things, being void of toxicity and negativity, and just having a good time enjoying the world of video games, man. So if you can dig that, come be a part of what we do when we're live, okay? Other than that, man, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. And happy Thursday. Cool. I guess I'm going to run us our outro here to kind of segue out of our video gaming news segment. The stream's not going down. I'm not going anywhere. As soon as this outro's done, I'll be back and we'll start getting ready for playing Fallout New Vegas. You guys rock. You look beautiful. Be right back.